Welcome back to MsMojo, and today we're looking at the sad and disturbing inspirations, meanings and backstories behind some beloved songs. Number 10. A myth about death. Love Roller Coaster. At first listen, it sounds like a fun and funky love song. But a strange screeching sound heard early in this Ohio player's track inspired an urban legend that may have outlasted the song's cultural imprint. The story goes that Love Roller Coaster inadvertently captured a murder victim's dying moments. That bit of lore morphed over the years, with the screech being attributed to the last gasp of the model who appeared on the album cover. Obviously, this didn't happen, but this tall tale went viral, or at least whatever the 1970s version of viral was. The Ohio players decided to let the myth ride for sales purposes. Number 9. It's about infidelity. Macarena. Back when a dance craze wasn't just confined to the internet, you were hard-pressed to get away from dance remixes of Los Del Rio's Spanish language hit Macarena.
When I dance, they call me Macarena, and the boys they say que soy buena.
The track and its accompanying dance caused an international sensation. The Bayside Boys added English lyrics to their version that spelled out what the song was really about for non-Spanish speakers, but we didn't even seem to notice.
Now don't you worry about my boyfriend, the boy whose name is Vitorino. I don't want him, couldn't stand him.
It wasn't until years later that a lot of us took a close look at those lyrics. Macarena is the story of a woman cheating on her boyfriend with 2 of his pals, which makes its presence at decades worth of weddings hilarious and sickly ironic. Number 8. Inspired by tragedy. Tears in Heaven. This beautiful and moving single first appeared on the soundtrack of the 1991 crime drama Rush. Tears in Heaven topped charts and won several Grammys after its release, but it has an extra layer of pain that comes from a very real traumatic event. Eric Clapton wrote this enduring hit while he was deep in mourning. Its lyrics and overall perspective were inspired by the death of his 4-year-old son, Connor, in a tragic fall. Since its initial release, the song has become one of Clapton's most successful, clearly illustrating the pain of losing a loved one. Number 7. Experiences with discrimination. Paper Planes. British rapper and songwriter M.I.A. found international success with this 2008 hit. Featuring a fusion of influences and styles, Paper Planes is a captivating piece of music.
I fly like paper, get high like planes. If you catch me at the border, I got visas in my neck.
The song itself, though, is a critical look at the xenophobia and racism faced by immigrants, particularly in the United States.
If you come around here, I'll make 'em all day. I get one down in a second if you wait.
With lyrics satirizing the commonly held view of foreign people as criminals and scammers, M.I.A. was inspired by her own struggle to secure a work visa in the country.
M.I.A. third world democracy. Yeah, I got more records in the KGB.
The insane hoops and mistreatment she faced in the entire process spurred her on to write what's become known as an anthem for outsiders and immigrants everywhere. Number 6. Inspired by a disgusting rumour. Barracuda. Sisters Anne and Nancy Wilson were accomplished musicians in their own right, and as the faces of the band Heart, they endured their fair share of misogyny.
So this ain't the end, I saw you again today.
One particular event encapsulates their mistreatment by male colleagues and the record industry as a whole. When their old label, Mushroom Records, started a scurrilous rumour for publicity, the sisters were outraged. In response, they wrote and recorded Barracuda. Taking its name from the predatory fish, the barracuda seems to represent every man in the industry who wielded power to minimize and dehumanize them. Number 5. The Price of Fame, Chandelier. Becoming famous might seem like a dream, but for this Australian singer-songwriter, it threatened to almost derail her life and career.
Party girl, don't get hurt, can't feel anything, and will I learn?
When she came back to record her 2014 album, 1000 Forms of Fear, she donned her signature, face-obscuring wig and made some of her most personal music yet.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink.
Chandelier feels like her quintessential party song. With its 1, 2, 3 drink refrain and soaring vocals, it's hard to notice how dark it actually is. Sia's inspiration for the song was her own hard partying lifestyle after her career took off and launched her public profile. Taking refuge in substances and wild nights out, the party girl at the center of the song turns out to be Sia herself. Number 4. Armed Robbery, You Learn. There's been a lot said about the sweat and tears that went into Alanis Morissette's breakout 1995 masterpiece, Jagged Little Pill.
I recommend getting your heart trampled on to anyone.
From destructive breakups to personal demons, the album represented a new sound for the artist, but the song You Learn was teased out of a distinct personal trauma.
Swallow it down, jagged little pill.
Morissette was the victim of an armed robbery during the making of Jagged Little Pill. Though the robber only made off with cash, she was afraid at one point that he would steal the backpack she was carrying, which contained a lot of materials for the record.
You live, you learn.
The incident gave her post-traumatic stress and panic attacks. She carried that experience into the song's overall message about even life's worst moments being valuable. Number 3. It's about nuclear annihilation, 99 Luft Balloons.
Hast du etwas Zeit für mich? Singe ich ein Lied für dich?
West German singer Nina had a crossover hit with this song, which was recorded in English as 99 Red Balloons. The story often gets lost in its upbeat 80s pop stylings.
99 Luftballons, ihren Weg zum Horizont.
In the 1980s, the Cold War was as hot as it ever got, and nuclear annihilation was the great existential fear of the age.
Krieg und Folgenmacht, man hätte das gedacht.
Nina's song speaks to the paranoia of the time, narrating a fictional story about a bunch of balloons that mistakenly activate a country's air defense system. The end result is full-on nuclear war. Not exactly as upbeat as the bouncy music would suggest.
Denk an dich und lass ihn fliegen.
Number 2. Response to a bombing, Zombie. This anti-war song's inclusion on Halloween playlists is baffling once you know what it's about. In the early 1990s, Cranberries lead singer Dolores O'Riordan wrote this perennially misunderstood classic that, despite its name, is not about the living dead.
With their tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns.
During a tour of England, the band drove near the location of a 1993 London bombing by the IRA, which claimed the lives of 2 children. Zombie was inspired by O'Riordan's anger over the event, which was emblematic of the violence that occurred during the Troubles.
In your head, in your head.
Island Records actually tried to pay the band not to release such a politically charged track. O'Riordan refused a $1 million check and released it anyway.
Zombie, zombie, zombie.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. The Loss of a Father, Wake Me Up When September Ends.
Summer has come and passed.
Green Day's mournful rock ballad from their American Idiot album was not only a hit. Upon its release, fans speculated about its meaning.
Like my father's come to pass.
It has since gone on to inspire memes that always crop up around September. But in the years since, fans also take to the internet to remind us the reason Billy Joe Armstrong wrote it in the first place.
The innocent can never last.
He first came up with the title in 1982. In fact, it was something he said to his mother after his father passed away that month. Green Day released the song over 20 years later, capturing the feeling of grief and depression after a profound loss.
Wake me up when September ends.
Did these sad truths about these great songs surprise you? Let us know in the comments.
You're gone and I gotta stay high all the time.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.